Hello and welcome into the What's Up Peoria podcast. I am your host, Nathaniel Washburn, back with another episode for you, coming to you from the Amplify studio here in our main library in wonderful downtown Peoria. And as always, I am here to tell you what's going on, and I'm excited because I am joined in studio by two wonderful guests who are from Parks and Rec, and they're going to be talking about the Junior Ranger Kids Club, which is part of the Junior Ranger program that they have in Parks and Rec. And I am joined by Anthony Alejandro and Kacey Wilton. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Kacey, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
They are going to be talking about an awesome program they got going on right now in Parks and Rec. As I said, the Junior Ranger Kids Club. More to come on that, and I'm very excited to hear more about this program that they're doing. And Parks and Rec is doing some awesome stuff right now. And if you haven't checked out their website lately, please do, because there's a ton of stuff on there. We'll get to that in a little bit. But before we get into that, a couple of things that I want to make sure everybody knows about. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in weekly for this podcast. Last couple of weeks have been great. We had the fire chief on, we had our police chief on, and the response to those episodes has been great. We've got some great feedback from our audience, and I want to thank those of you who have been emailing and giving me your feedback. And for those of you that haven't, if you do want to reach out to the show, you can do that. We are at What's Up Peoria at PeoriaAZ.gov. Again, that's What's Up Peoria, all one word, at PeoriaAZ.gov. You can email into the show if you have show ideas or if there's specific people you want to hear from, please let me know. And you can always pick this podcast up at any of the places where you get your favorite podcasts. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all those wonderful places that carry the podcast. You can get this podcast there. And we are excited. We've been doing this about 8 months, and the feedback's been great. So thanks to all of you for continuing to tune in, to hear from our wonderful guests that we have on, and to hear about what's going on around the city. I wanted to remind everybody that this Monday, June 19th, is Juneteenth, and the city will be closed in observance of that holiday. So mark that down on your calendar. June 19th, our libraries and other city areas will be closed in observance for Juneteenth. Also going on right now, we have summer reading happening within the libraries, and there's lots of really cool programs going on. You can check out the website, our Peoria Library's website, for all the different events happening. But there is a lot of really fun things going on. We got mini golf on the go. We got animals coming in from the zoo. Today we had an ASU program going on. So there's all sorts of fun things happening at our libraries. And of course, we have our normal programs, story times, and things like that happening. But check out our website for all that information. I've also brought this up a couple of times, but I want to remind you all the big event that is coming up in just about 2-3 weeks from now, our 4th of July All-American Festival out at the Peoria Sports Complex. This is one you don't want to miss. We got Roger Klein coming again. This is a free event, and all of the special events team and the Peoria Sports Complex team do a great job of making sure that things are fun and safe and that you will have a good time. So make sure you check out the website for more information on that. But mark it on your calendar, 4th of July, right around the corner. You don't want to miss out on the All-American Festival happening at the Peoria Sports Complex. So still things going on within our city, even though it is hot. You can always find something to do. And speaking of something to do, we're going to turn back to Anthony and Kacey, who are going to talk a little bit about the Junior Ranger Kids Club program that is happening in Parks and Rec. And Anthony, before we jump into the club, I kind of always like to start with my guests, have them tell a little bit to the audience about your journey in Peoria and kind of where you've been.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. I heard Chief Miller talk a little bit about his journey and his story coming from LA, and then making his way over here. Mine, I felt like, is a little more simpler than that. 16 years in public service, and all 16 years have been right here in the city of Peoria. So,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you just joined Parks just a few months ago, right? January. So yep. About a half a year you've been in Parks. How you liking Parks?
I love it.
That's awesome. And you work different areas throughout the city, so I think you've seen a lot of different growth. And Parks and Rec is also grown tremendously during that time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And in addition to working here for the last 16 years, I've also had the opportunity to raise my family right here in Peoria.
That's awesome.
So we've taken advantage of the parks and the recreation programs over the last 16 plus years, and now being able to work in it and help and just, offer my advice and, just kind of what I've seen from our families, just time here has just been really great.
I talk about it all the time because I live and I work here, and it's really amazing when you get to serve the community you live in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very cool circumstance. So you're over at Parks now, and I know you're doing a great job over there. And Kacey, turning to you, you just came on in February. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. So where did you come from, and so far how are you liking your time in Peoria?
So I came from Tacoma, Washington. I was in the Air Force for 6 years.
Oh, well, thank you for your service. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. So very different climates from one extreme to the other. So I'm looking forward to summer.
I was going to say, now, how long have you been in Arizona then?
Since December.
Since December. So you've never experienced a... Oh, Anthony,
first time.
We got to make sure we get this girl water and keep her cool because
her hydrated.
It's about to get very, very warm.
Yep.
So
I'm nervous.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the first one's the roughest one. So I'm sorry, I cut you off. So you came from Washington and you moved here in December?
I did, yes. So again, in the military, love to help people, love to work with the public. So finding a job where I could do that was in Parks and Rec and in Peoria. So happy to be here, love parks, and I look forward to the rest of my career here.
And she lives here as well, by the way.
So you also live in Peoria. Very, very cool. That's awesome. I love that. It's a lot of fun to talk about that. And you've been here since February, so you're already obviously off to a great start with this the Junior Ranger Kids Club program. Right. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I was reading up on this program. It's really, really cool. So tell us a little bit about the program.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first came over in January, the department, Blake and his team were already kind of starting to brainstorm a way to expand what we already have. So the Junior Ranger program as it exists today is an opportunity for kids to work with our park rangers, learn about our parks, learn about the trails, how to protect the environment. They can take their oath and they can receive a badge, badge of honor.
That's really cool.
And so they're doing great with that. What we wanted to do was really expand it to also encompass the entire department. So not just our parks and trails, but also, through our enrichment programs, environmental education, our sports programs, just really give an opportunity for our kids to learn all that we have to offer in the Parks and Rec department.
And it's really cool because this isn't just something where it's like, hey, kids, this is something to do. There's really truly an education going on with this, right?
Right, absolutely, yeah. So that's one of the main points, is trying to tie the educational piece, make it fun for them, make it engaging, where they want to come back, they want to try out our programs, really essentially make them champions in our community.
Yeah, and I really love the idea of, again, you're bringing kids in, you're educating them. I love the environmental part of it. I know people who live in Peoria truly enjoy the open space, the trails, but it's also about taking care of our environment, right? Making sure we're looking after our environment, and you're teaching that.
Yep, exactly. And the park rangers are teaching 7 principles of leave no trace.
Love that.
Yep,
well, okay,
exactly.
That is really, really cool. I love that.
Yeah. So and then just getting into our trails and making sure we're cleaning up after ourselves, because this is our community and it's our future, and we definitely have to make sure we protect it.
Absolutely. And you want to start early, right? We want to get with these kids early, and it's the same thing in the library with literacies, right? With literacy, we want to start early and get them reading early. That's why we push our summer reading program so much, because the earlier you do it, the more ingrained it is for these kids to be able to. Literacy is important, reading is important, taking care of the environment that you live in is important. So fantastic.
Right. So so we've been marketing it since spring training. We've got about 100 kids that are signed up now, and so we're really getting ready to kick off an event. But in addition to the kids club, we've got some material that we want to give to them. So we've got an activity booklet that highlights our Wrecking Crew mascots that I've
heard a little bit about. This crew
we introduced
Blake was telling me about
we introduced them at spring training. They got involved. They've made some appearances throughout the city, and we're hoping to do some more of those. And in addition, we've got a ranger hat that each youth or each child will get, in addition to a sticker program that we have, which is really cool too. So if you think about a football player gets stickers on their helmet for milestones that they complete, similar to that, we've got some activities on our website that kids can go out and do. and then they can receive stickers from all the different divisions that we have and put them on their hat as a badge of honor as well.
Yeah, so bring some pride to it too. I love that.
Right.
Very cool. And so, Kacey, how can kids get involved in this? What do they need to do? Where do they need to go? Tell us a little bit about how, our listeners out there can get involved in what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. So Anthony hit on it a little bit. We've been marketing it since spring training. Our website is the place where you sign up, your name, your email, all that stuff. And then with that, you become a member and you get notifications of events that are happening, such as our upcoming kickoff event that is July 14th at Peoria Pool. So this will be an opportunity for all the Junior Ranger kids to come together. There's some trivia that's going to happen, otter pops, some special appearances from the wrecking crew. So our website is the one-stop shop, and then social media also, we promote it that way.
So you put all your information in there. Kids listening out there, get a parent to help you do that, right? We want to make sure that you get the parents' permission.
Yeah.
They come out, they sign up, and then they can just jump right into the program, correct?
Right.
Definitely, yeah. On our website, as Anthony mentioned, each division is broken down with activities you can do per division. So once you complete one of those activities, such as going to a park, drawing a picture of a tree you see or something of that sort, then you can come to the Rio Vista Recreation Center or the sports complex and receive your sticker for that division.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
What a great way to get people involved. And I know, another component of Parks and Rec is always volunteers looking for, people to help out with programs. And I know you had mentioned to me before, this particular program doesn't necessarily need volunteers, but there are opportunities for people who might be interested in volunteering in Parks and Rec, right?
Right, yeah. And so as this program gets going, we've got a kickoff event, but it's summertime, so we were trying to find something to do when it's hot, so the pool is a great opportunity. And then tying in the CPR demonstrations and trainings is really the educational piece for that. However, we are also, Kacey and I and the team are also looking at expanding our volunteers' opportunities and internships within the department. So right now you can volunteer. We've got, sports coaches that are volunteers, volunteers out in our trails, over at the rec center, in aquatics. But so we're really looking to take an inventory of what we have to offer and how we can expand upon that. In addition, internship opportunities for, some of our high schoolers who may have an interest or a passion in being a park and rec professional at some point in the future. If we can create an opportunity for them to come in, get some real world experience, show them what we have to offer, and, maybe make them, at some point, follow down that path in their career.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. Being able to offer, and we do the same thing in the library with people who might be interested. You come in, you can spend some hours here, and it's there's a lot of different areas in our city that allow that. We have our youth advisory board. We even have liaisons that sit on the council.
Right.
And I think the value of that is so tremendous because it gives a high schooler a chance to come in and say, yeah, I want to do this, for this, what I want to do for my life's work, for my career. So the fact that there's opportunities for people to be able to do that, and especially our young population here, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. The more we can get them involved at a young age, like you said, even if they don't necessarily get into the city of Peoria, they're still our residents and still add value and participate in our programs. And so that's, really what we want to give them.
We do. And I had May Lee on. I don't know if you've met me, but I had May Lee on a few episodes ago. It was a while now, but her story is one of those great stories where she came in, she was on the youth advisory board. She was a liaison on the council, went to college and came back. And now she works in Peoria.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just the perfect story.
It is the perfect story. Yeah. And it shouldn't be the only one, right? We want to be encouraging our young Peoria residents to get out, do these type of internships, find those areas, whether it's in the library, whether it's Parks and Rec. If there's an area of the city that you want to get involved in, we will find a way for you to get involved.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. There's something for everybody.
Absolutely. No doubt. So you had mentioned a little bit about the event that's coming up. Give us some more details, Kacey, on the event so everybody knows exactly when that is and what's going on.
Yeah, so the event will be July 14th. It'll be from noon to 3 p.m. at Peoria Pool. You need to make sure that you say that you're here for the Junior Ranger Kids Club. You get in for free. There's going to be trivia where kids can have the opportunity to answer questions that we give them and get prizes. And then also, again, the wrecking crew will make their appearance. Otter pops will be given out, CPR demonstration, and again, maybe the fire truck will make an appearance as well.
Yeah.
I like the otter pop one. That is a way to get That's a way to get the kids, right? You go right to that otter pop.
Yeah, and fire, and bringing a fire truck out doesn't hurt as well.
But let's talk a little bit about the wrecking crew, because I think the wrecking crew is pretty amazing. And I was talking to Blake a little bit about this, and I know this is kind of his brainchild, but tell us a little bit about the wrecking crew, if you wouldn't mind, Anthony, because I think that this is so much fun.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. So the wrecking crew is made up of 6 different animals who represent various divisions within our department. Each mascot has a profile of character traits, such as their favorite activity, their biggest fear, or career aspirations, to name a few. So to give you an example, one of the mascots we have is Bailey the bear. Of course, he is a polar bear, so he represents the aquatics department.
Of course.
His favorite activity is swimming. Go figure. His his biggest fear is not doing so well on homework or tests. And when he grows up, he wants to be a veterinarian. So really the point is to try to get our kids, our youth, to really relate to some of these mascots. If, I could relate to not doing well at home.
I can relate to probably all 6 of these mascots on some level, right? Because we all have things that we want to do and be, and we all have fears.
Exactly.
I love it.
And each of them have, different fears, different character traits, what they want to be when they grow up. So we've got Ollie, the owl from Peoria Enrichment. We've got Frankie, the fox from Peoria Sports. We've got Toby the turtle, who represents our environmental education department. Nice. We've got Riley the rabbit for Rio Vista, and Murphy the monkey for the Peoria Sports Complex.
Wow. That is so cool. So kids out there, this is a really cool chance for you to get in and see the wrecking crew and all the different mascots that are representative of the different divisions within our Parks and Rec department. And this is really something very cool and very special. And I love that you guys are doing this. I think this is really, really neat. And families, if you haven't heard of this is something you definitely want to check out. There's a lot of information on the website about the wrecking crew. Kacey, what do you think about the wrecking crew? Pretty cool, right?
I think they're pretty awesome.
Now, have you met any of them?
I've met a few.
You met a few. Have you met? Yeah. You haven't met all of them yet, though, right? It's there's a lot of them to meet. So yeah. So what first impressions of the wrecking crew? Since you're kind of new here, what do you think?
So first impressions, very friendly.
Nice.
Very fast. If anybody went to a spring training game, we saw them do some races
I heard that. I didn't get to see it in person. I made it out to a couple of spring training games, but I didn't get to see the race. But I did hear it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Murphy the fox made quite the appearance.
If you're
Murphy
Fox,
the monkey. I apologize.
Is it the monkey? Because I was going to say Murphy the fox should be winning these races. But you know what? Hey, the monkeys, they got their vibe. They can do their things. Yeah. So, all right. Very cool. Again, this is a lot of fun for the kids. And it's, again, everything that this group is doing, that Anthony and Kacey are working on, it's always educational. And we're always trying to, in this city, especially with Parks, Rec, Library, Neighborhood and Human Services, all these departments, water, sustainability, there's always an educational component that we bring to the table. And that is because we're really trying to educate all of our citizens, everybody who lives and or works, comes to Peoria, visits, that we want to educate them on what's going on and what we can all be doing to make this community a better place to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as we continue to grow the program, we've got lots of educational opportunities that we want to show them. We've already got 100 signed up, and it's only been a few months. So I think there's a lot of families out there that are looking for opportunities for their kids to get involved. And so we're excited to just be able to offer that to them.
I agree. I think it's something very cool. And I always go back to, this is something free. Mm-hmm. This is something
absolutely free.
We know that costs are going up on things. This is something that you can do with your family, with your kids, that they can get involved in. They can learn something new, have a good time, and it's not going to cost you anything other than taking some time to sign up and then making the trip out to some of these events. So a lot of very cool things. You guys are doing amazing work. Thank you for the work that you're doing over in Parks and Rec, because it is making Peoria a better place to live, a better place to play. And some of these events that you guys are putting on, they're tremendous. So kudos to you and your team over there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Our team's great.
Yeah, it always takes a team to do it, but you guys are doing wonderful things, and looking forward to the future. Are there any other, I know we talked about the July, sneak peek, any other things that maybe in the fall you got planned? I don't want to give too much away here, but
I don't know if we can give too much away right now.
All right,
but,
fair enough.
Sign up and you'll get those alerts, and pay attention to social media and our website.
So there you go. Anthony's not giving anything away. He's playing the cards close to the vest, which is, I understand. But sign up, and at least at the very least, you can get out to the event on the 14th, and then more to come. And make sure you sign up for the regular Junior Ranger program as well. Yep. So it's not just we obviously want you to sign up for the Kids Club part of it, but sign up for the regular program as well, because that's something that goes all year, right? Yep. That is something that is ongoing. Correct?
Ongoing, yeah. And they can make an appointment to meet with park rangers and just learn firsthand from them everything they've got to share. So
very cool. And we have a great group of park rangers.
Absolutely,
here.
Yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to you'll see them out at our parks, out and about at our parks. They're super approachable. You can always go up, ask questions. They are a wonderful bunch of people. So very cool to get involved in that on an ongoing basis too.
Absolutely.
So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you very much for coming in and sharing this with our listeners. And again, for more information and to get signed up, get on over to the parks website. Anthony, can you give us that website one more time?
Yeah, so they can either go to our PeoriaAZ.gov Parks and Recreation Department. We've got a Junior Ranger section there. They can also email kidsclub@PeoriaAZ.gov if they've got any questions or want to sign up that way. We're doing that as well.
Okay, so there's different ways to get involved. Again, the website, you can also email to the email that Anthony just mentioned, and that is a very easy way to get involved. But again, thanks for coming on, both of you. I really appreciate your time, and thanks for sharing this with our listeners.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Nathaniel. Appreciate it.
You bet. And we're going to get you guys back in the fall. I know you guys are always doing tremendous things over there, so we'll make sure to get you back, and you can reveal the next great move that you guys are working on.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Very cool. Well, thank you very much for to Anthony and Kacey for coming in and joining me. Great stuff. Again, I want to remind all of you, get out there and get involved in these programs. They're free. They're fun. You can have a really good time doing these things. The library offers tons of free programs. Parks and Rec, Neighborhood and Human Services. We are here for you. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to have a good time, to enjoy where you live, and all these programs that we're talking about here are free, so you can do that. Just make sure you go to our websites to check that information out. And again, as always, make sure you're getting out to these events that we're putting on, because they are fun. I'm really excited for this event coming up for the Junior Ranger Kids Club on the 14th at the pool. You know, that's always going to be a lot of fun. Anytime you can get out to the pool in the summer, that's a good time. So make sure you're getting out. I want to thank all of you for continuing to tune in to this podcast, downloading. We're hitting new records every single week, and I couldn't do that without you guys being very loyal to listening to what's going on in Peoria. And again, if you have ideas or if you have information that you want to share, please reach out to us at the email that I had mentioned before, which is what's up Peoria, all one word, at PeoriaAZ.gov. That is the best way to communicate with the show. But we are excited. We have been doing this 8 months. And we're coming up almost on our year anniversary is going to be in September. And we couldn't have gone this far without the wonderful listeners that tune in every single week. So please make sure you're continuing to do that. Let your friends know about this podcast, because this is the best way to get information as to what's going on in the city. And every week I always have great guests who come in and share their time in Peoria, as well as the wonderful things that they're working on. Next week, I'm very excited. I'm going to have Colleen McElroy, who is one of our friends of the Peoria Public Library officers. She's going to be on to talk about Friends programming and to talk about what the Friends do to support our wonderful libraries here. So you're going to definitely want to tune in for that one. So my thanks again to Anthony and Kacey for coming in and joining me. And as always, make sure you're getting out there into the events that are happening. And until next time, this is What's Up Peoria.